We are just putting out apps like crazy. In the last couple of weeks we've put out CNET TV for iPhone, we put out CNET News, CNET Reviews went live on Monday. We did an optimized Google TV site, so it's just really all about apps and devices for us and making sure that our users can consume our content in whatever way makes sense for them.
Specifically with mobile, I understand you've been doing some interesting things. Can you describe that?
Sure. Our most recent app is really interesting. It's CNET Reviews, and it's really a new way of thinking about sort of the shopping experience for CNET. So we have had content, online for over a decade to help you choose the best consumer electronics, and now we want to be there with you in the store. So you take your iPhone, you go to Best Buy or Costco or whatever your local electronic store is, and you can look up any product you have there, see what the rating is from our editorial team, scan the barcode if you want, and the ratings and pricing of maybe the store you're in plus online retailers or other local retailers will come up, so you can sort of know that you're getting the best price, you're buying the best product. And then we have buying guides that really concentrate sort of the first time for us on the in-store experience. So how to interact with a salesperson, what do you ask them when the salesperson's trying to say, you really need this 3D TV thing. You can read our buying guide and we'll say, no, actually, you don't need that.
So how are you monetizing this product?
It's sort of our traditional monetization method. So it's, sponsorships, there's, leads. So if you go and you go, oh, I am in store and I found this product, but I really want to buy it on Amazon because they have a much better price, we get paid for that sort of lead out to Amazon. I think it's a really valuable market to advertise to, because you have someone who's in the store about to make a purchase, and you could potentially sway them at that sort of moment right before they actually pull the trigger on whatever the purchase is.
Tell me a little bit about the functionality of CNET TV. What are you hoping to accomplish?
So CNET TV was sort of our experiment 4 or 5 years ago as sort of taking all the technology content that CNET had and adding a bunch of lifestyle content and placing a bet that people would want to watch technology video content for the sake of the content and not because they were making a purchase decision. And has been very successful. We're the #1 sort of video technology site out there right now. And what we've tried to do in the last year is really make that accessible wherever you want to consume the content. So if that's on an iPhone app or an Android app, or if it's on your TV, we want to make that experience easy and we want it to look really good for you. So we have sort of the capabilities to produce really professional content that is going to look great on a 50-inch plasma, but we can also bring the same content to your iPhone or to your iPad. And we've done optimized sites for the iPad, for Google TV recently. We're always looking at more opportunities. We've been on TiVo for 5 years, actually, was sort of our first set-top box play. And, for a long time, we were always the #1 content provider on TiVo. And that showed us that we have this really early adopter audience. So connecting with new platforms really makes sense for our audience to grow and to just hit them wherever makes sense.
What are the primary challenges you face not in actually delivering content to, as you put it, where consumers are, but in managing that content?
Certainly there's concerns over piracy. I mean, in the early days of CNET TV, we always said, please steal our content. Just watch it. And so now it's certainly more of a concern. The biggest concern, honestly, sort of has to do with maintaining sort of the quality that we want on platforms that we don't entirely control. So if we want to bring our content to Boxy or to Roku, where it is sort of someone else's platform, we can sort of do some of the development, but we want to make sure that our users can get to all the content and really have a high level of quality content. And we also want to make sure that if an advertiser buys a specific show, we can deliver their advertising not just on our site, but across all the platforms, because they want to say, hey, I own Buzz Out Loud, so I want to make sure that my ad appears everywhere Buzz Out Loud is. And that becomes a really challenge when we don't own the platforms. It's a challenge on YouTube, to go and say, hey, can you integrate with our ad infrastructure? These 10 partners that just want to work with DoubleClick or your internal advertising platform. So that's a challenge. I mean, getting through contracts and stuff like that is always a big challenge, especially for a really large organization like ours is, because it's not sort of like a 10-person startup can just say, let's try it, who knows what's going to happen. Oh, contracts, we're not worried about that. We'll just try it. So there is sort of a lot of legal stuff to get through, but those are sort of the biggest ones.